we're just gonna look at it. And we're hoping to see 400 billion. That's the goal. That is the, what is going on? Hold up. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm broke. Maxed out all my credit cards. I used my student loan for this. Crypto's a scam. I don't have any more money. I just wanted to buy the dip. Hodl. They told me to hodl. I should have sold this in December. Oh no, keep buying the dip. Keep buying the dip. If you keep buying the dip, dollar cost averaging. That's all a lie. They lied. I'm getting a 401k, but I'm tired of this. I'm about to go back to work. I don't have it.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Finally, after a very boring weekend, Bitcoin is moving. Now, we did anticipate there was going to be some type of movement, and I was saying either today or tomorrow we could expect that. Unfortunately, it is pushing to the downside. Now, why is this happening? Well, obviously, there are fears about what is going on with Genesis. I haven't heard anything yet. Maybe by the time this video comes out, maybe you've heard something. I've been checking Twitter and checking the news sources. I haven't heard anything yet about that deal, but also just to mention, it's coinciding with the DXY right here, which is basically having a perfect bounce off of this level in the bottom of our blue zone. And, it may make an attempt at retesting 109 or 110. And obviously, as we know, when the DXY is pumping, assets tend to dump, right? You can see the S&P is actually having a red candle day today, as well as Bitcoin, which, by the way, is kind of hanging on by a thread right now. So you might be wondering, what do I mean by Bitcoin, the end is near? What kind of FUD is this, K-Dub, that you're spreading? Actually, it's the complete opposite. I want to shed some light on the space and talk about what we've seen. I think this deleveraging event that just happened recently in crypto with all of this Celsius, Voyager, FTX, etc., it's one of the craziest things we've ever seen in the space. I would be shocked if there's actually any more left to this to come out. Obviously, we're waiting on that Genesis news. Hopefully something comes out either today or tomorrow regarding that. But what I really want to talk about is why I do believe that the bottom could actually be very, very close. Obviously, every single time we're getting these bad news events come out, you're seeing less and less of a price reaction. I mean, look at how stable the price just went sideways over the weekend, right? So you're kind of seeing this desensitization to the bad news in the bear market. And that's part one of why I think we could be getting close to the end of this. But also, I want to share with you 4 separate, completely unrelated stories that are also signaling this to me as well. And I do believe that once we finally do get out of this bear market, and I don't know how long it'll last or when it'll officially end, I think that Bitcoin is going to go on literally the most massive rally we have ever seen, surpassing all expectations. So you're going to want to stick around for this. Today's video is going to be a little bit shorter. I do have some stuff I have to do today, but I really wanted to share that with you guys. So if you haven't gotten subscribed, get subscribed, and let's hop in. I'm going to start actually with the charts today since we did have some price action. You can see right here that we are still technically, if I zoom in, we are being supported by this downward sloping trend. You can see right here. But if we come over and have a look at what we did, this is sort of the bad news, is we fell out of this blue zone, and look what we did. We came down here, we retested this level, right? This was the bottom of this candle where it closed right here on November 9th. And then what we did was, look at this, we came back up to the bottom of the blue zone, and we got rejected and came back down. So now we're kind of trading in this newer zone, and there really isn't a lot of support down here, right? And I'm not trying to freak anyone out. I mean, we could just have a massive pump and, maybe this is the area to be buying. I'm not going to give financial advice on that. But unfortunately, as you guys can see right here, this green level that we're sitting, the next level of the VPVR that really provides any support is all the way down at around 13,900. With the strongest at around 13,300. So are we going to actually fall down to those levels? You can see right here, if we just stay in the same pattern that we've been in, we've been literally in this falling wedge. You could even argue it kind of started right back here in January of last year. And if we were to come straight down, that level is pretty much around 14,000 even. So that wouldn't make that 13.8, 13.9 out of the cards. We do have slight support at around 15,300. But again, if we can't get a bounce, and seriously, the level that we have to get above, we have to minimally get above 17,600. That's this area right here. Preferably getting above 18,000, but then of course the real level is 19,500. But if we do fall, as I said, all signs unfortunately are pointing down to this $14,000 area. And just to point it out, if that did happen, unless it was something like what happened back here during the COVID crash, then, we would pretty much lose this structure. And as I said, in 5.5 years, Bitcoin has never closed a weekly candle ever below this legacy trend line. So that would really be quite detrimental to the structure of Bitcoin, right? That would really change things a lot. But yeah, so talking about why, I feel this way, this is the only thing that really has come out. You had this letter from Coinbase, basically saying the digital assets underlying each Grayscale product have their own on-chain addresses as we use client-by-client custody segregation. The digital assets underlying each Grayscale product always belong to the applicable Grayscale product. The digital assets underlying each Grayscale product cannot be lent by Coinbase custody. And then they, talk about how much they have, and you can see these are their numbers right here. So they say that they do have the 635,235 Bitcoin. They have 3 million Ethereum, and you can just go through the list right here. So they're saying everything is fine. So we'll see what happens with that. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen with Genesis, but as far as whatever this debacle with the digital currency group and all them, Coinbase is saying that it should be all right. So this is what I want to talk about. Mark Cuban capitulates, right? So Mark Cuban has actually unfollowed a bunch of crypto accounts, right? People, someone pointed out that he's been, unfollowing all these different crypto accounts. So is he capitulating? Is he trying to clear the clutter and the noise? Is he losing interest? Because this is actually what you want to see. I know this seems like the opposite, but when you have a billionaire like Mark Cuban, who maybe is kind of losing a little bit of interest in the space, that is a strong sign that you could be coming towards, the end of the worst, right? Now, this doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't bounce sideways for the next 6 months. I'm just saying that the worst could be behind us, because if you look at all previous bear markets, they don't ever, go back into bulls immediately off of like a V or anything. They usually get very boring. People lose interest. They start unfollowing people. They stop following crypto accounts. They stop looking at the Bitcoin chart. They basically just forget about it. And when the most amount of people have lost the most amount of interest, that's usually when the market tends to turn around. This is the first story. The second one I wanted to talk about is New York-based multinational bank JP Morgan has officially registered a trademark for a cryptocurrency wallet. The banking behemoth plans to provide users with electronic transfers of virtual currencies via a global computer network. The trademark also covers the financial exchange of cryptocurrencies as well as cryptocurrency payment processing. So why is JP Morgan getting interested in crypto when, the whole world is running scared and everyone's saying that this, the house is burning down, get out, and yet they're developing a crypto wallet. Now, this all is going to tie in just a second. Remember, I told you guys about Man Group, which is the world's largest public traded investment company. And they're planning on rolling out their own digital asset hedge fund. The strategy for the crypto hedge fund is being spearheaded by Andre Rizm, a partner and portfolio manager. And the report says that Rizm, who has been with the firm since 2005, has been entrusted by the $138.4 billion asset manager to develop new trading models and identify alternative markets. And this is crazy because, we're already basically almost at the tail end of November. And it says the Man Group is aiming to launch the virtual currency fund by the end of this year, despite a tumultuous year for the industry. So we're seeing big players, right, start to lose interest. Actually, there's a bot on Twitter that shows you people that are unfollowing Sam SBF, and Gary Gensler was like one of them, and so you're kind of seeing that. And then JP Morgan with a wallet, and then this story from the Man Group. Now, why? Why is this? Why do I care? Why do I think that this is good? What's happening? I tweeted this over on Twitter yesterday. So Joe Biden, this is from Forbes. Joe Biden leads a critical call for game-changing global Bitcoin and crypto rules after the shock FTX collapse. Calls for a stricter regulatory control have grown to a cacophony over the last week as the amount of money thought to have been lost by FTX and its sister Alameda Research reaches eye-popping levels and threatens to engulf the wider crypto market. Now, following the latest gathering of the G20 industrialized countries in Indonesia, the leaders of the attending countries called the need for international rules to govern the fast-growing Bitcoin and crypto space critical, and said potential risks to financial stability needed to be mitigated. So they are, saying this. And also, I don't have it pulled up, but BitBoy, who has been honestly amazing at uncovering like all of this information, I think it's because, they're working to get that crypto bill passed. So he's kind of got a lot of insider information. He said that he heard rumors that even Donald Trump could potentially be changing his stance on Bitcoin. Remember how he said he didn't like Bitcoin? He said it was like thin air and all it was used was for negative money laundering type stuff. Well, now they're saying that he might be changing his tune. Of course, nothing's official. He hasn't come out and said anything. His Twitter did get reinstated, so maybe he'll make a statement on it. But you could see right here, these guys are saying it's critical to build public awareness of risks, to strengthen regulatory outcomes, and to support a level playing field while harnessing the benefits of innovation. The G20 leaders, including U.S. President Joe Biden, wrote in a statement posted to the White House website following the meeting this week. Last month, Global Financial Standard Settler Financial Stability Board, FSB, proposed rules that would subject crypto companies and markets to the same tough rules that govern traditional finance. We welcome the FSB's proposed approach for establishing a comprehensive international framework. Now, they're not talking about just the U.S. They're talking about an international framework of regulation pretty much for crypto. The G20 leaders added that they want to ensure the crypto asset ecosystem, including so-called traditional currency peg stablecoins, is closely monitored and subject to robust regulation, supervision, and oversight to mitigate potential risks to financial stability. Now, this might sound a little bit scary. Why, what regulation's going to save us? Regulation's going to crush us. But listen to this. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said that the fall of FTX demonstrates the need for more effective oversight of cryptocurrency markets in a statement this week, adding that the same protections offered in traditional markets should apply to crypto assets. And if you continue to read more in here, they go on to talk about how they're not really looking to, squash crypto or to get rid of Bitcoin. They want to basically make it a safer environment for people to trade. And they also say that they don't want to stifle the innovation. So this is actually very positive. Could this be what, is next for crypto, that global sort of regulation, right? And I know that some people are against regulation and, they think it's the devil. Look, at the end of the day, if you want to just trade Bitcoin and use Bitcoin or just, transact in Bitcoin the way that it was intended to, you can always do that. No one's ever going to stop you from just sending one Bitcoin to another person back and forth, right? You could do that. But if you want the big players to come in, especially after what we've seen with FTX, with Celsius, and all of this other madness that's happened in the past year, the big players, the sovereign wealth funds, billions and billions of dollars, okay? Billions of dollars, literally just look at the UAE. They are going to want that clear regulation. And by the way that they're talking, it sounds to me like, I said again, the name of the video, the end is near, but not in a bad way, in a good way, in a way that I think, they're finally going to wake up. They're finally going to understand that Bitcoin isn't going anywhere. And let's be honest, guys, especially with the US, they just want to tax it. Right? I mean, they don't, why would they care if somebody holds Bitcoin? Bitcoin is not a threat to the dollar. Bitcoin is more like digital gold, right? Is gold a threat to the dollar? No. Are people going to the store with bars of gold? No. You hoard your gold. You hold it. It's a store of value, right? And I believe that what we're seeing right now is the transition of Bitcoin turning into that digital gold, right? Right now, it's not. No, everybody's treating it just like, the speculative investment. But I think over time, especially, once we eventually do see something break, which we know something's going to break eventually at some point, the Fed will pivot. I think that you're going to see a lot of people moving into Bitcoin. And if this regulation kind of coincides with that happening, maybe sometime, early next year or mid to even at the end of next year would be fine too, then I think it could be net positive, right? So I just wanted to break that to you guys. That's, that's kind of my take on things. I think that it's kind of all culminating. Unfortunately, I think that what happened in the crypto space was kind of that necessary evil. It had to happen, right? People had to lose a bunch of money. You had to have all of this, stuff come out and Gary Gensler and Joe Biden and Janet Yellen. I mean, everyone's looking at the space now, right? And I think that that's kind of what we needed. And this is why, again, seeing, big guys capitulate, seeing banks looking to have crypto wallets. We're having the world's largest publicly traded investment company looking to roll out the crypto hedge fund by the end of this year. And we have the G20 coming together saying we need some sort of international rules for crypto, but we don't want to stifle innovation. We just want to protect customers and, of course, tax them. But you know what I'm saying, guys. So that's why I'm saying that the end could be near. And, it doesn't mean we can't go sideways for a couple more months, like 6 months. It also doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't test a lower level at some point. I just think that the worst is behind us. And I think that when we do come out of this, whether it be, mid to next year, we have the Bitcoin halving in 2024. I know the thought of waiting until 2024 is kind of crazy, especially when one day in crypto is like 10 years in the real world with all the madness that comes out. But nevertheless, guys, I do think that we are going to probably enter the golden age of crypto on this next bull run. And anyone who's here right now, especially if you're, upset about maybe, losing money, or maybe you did have money on FTX, or maybe you, had a couple bad trades, or maybe you held some shit coins to the bottom. I mean, everybody goes through it. I've lost money. Everyone I know has lost money at some point in their crypto journey. I do think if you're watching this video right now and you are paying attention, I think that the life-changing, gains and moment, the golden age, is pretty much right around the corner. And if you could just stick it out, I know it seems like crazy, but for, the next 5 years to 10 years, I think we're going to see the most explosive, massive inflow and price action and positivity and every other nice, kind word you can say towards Bitcoin. And I think that people are going to finally realize that, it was Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the answer. It's the best form of money, and it is gold 2.0. In fact, I think it's better than gold, for obvious reasons I've stated on this channel. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you understand that, it's kind of crazy, talking about this stuff, especially while price is not looking so great right now. But you have to look to the future. You have to sort of step outside right now and realize that this is all part of the process. And I do think that there are brighter days ahead, and I still think that I guess the golden age is the word that I'm calling it. It's coming, and just anyone positioning themselves right now, buying these discounts as all of these things are happening, I think you will be the winner. Remember, heroes and legends are made in bear markets. I've always said that. So thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I make these videos. Be safe out there. Crazy times. The market's hanging on by a thread. News events come out. They push prices all over the place. But I will continue to keep you guys updated. Make sure you also follow me on Twitter and TikTok if you guys want. I do smaller updates and more frequent ones over there. So check that out. You guys rock. And, check this out before we go. I also want to, maybe I'll put this in my next video, but I forgot I had this chart up here. Also, if you notice, the interest in Bitcoin has spiked. You can see it was down at some of its lowest levels, and right here, it actually just started spiking on Google Trends. So that was something I meant to put in the beginning of the video, but if you stayed around to the end, you got a little bit of a treat. Bitcoin interest is, in fact, coming back. So thank you so much again. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto, and of course, peace out.